Samuel J. Mills, the missionary who never reached his field. Very early in the 19th century, somewhere about 1809 or 1810, there were four young men in Williams College who used to meet together in a grove for prayer and conference. One day, a heavy shower forced them to find better shelter than the trees afforded, and they took refuge under a haystack in a field nearby. They were earnestly talking on this day about sending the good news to the faraway lands, and in the shelter of that haystack they pledged themselves to go as foreign missionaries, as soon as the way should open. The best known of these four young men was Samuel J. Mills, born in Massachusetts in the town of Toland, and at this time about 25 or 26 years old. At this time, Mr. Mills, with the other three, came to Andover to enter the theological seminary there. Here they met young Adoniram Judson, who was just then looking for some way to be sent to the foreign field. But there was no society or board ready to send anyone to far-off lands. There was the Massachusetts Missionary Society, which was founded in 1799, but its work was limited to the North American Indians, and it could do nothing for these young men who wished to go to India, Burma, and Africa. At last, after talking over matters and asking advice of others, and making it a subject of earnest prayer, a paper was drawn up, telling their wishes and asking for support, direction, and prayers from the ministers who were gathered at that time in what was called the General Association. At first there were 6 names assigned to this document, but for fear the ministers might be alarmed at the thought of providing so many, 2 names were taken off, one of them being that of young Mr. Judson. The assembled ministers adopted a set of resolutions in their meeting which led to the organization of a new society, or board, called the American Board of Commissioners for Foreign Missions, which in due time set apart the young ministers to be missionaries to go off to far lands. Samuel J. Mills, who was the son of a minister, now began to look forward to work in foreign countries, such as his heart had long been set upon. But after his graduation day, there seemed to be a great deal for him to do first in the homeland. He had been one of those 4 signatures that was instrumental in the organization of the new society to send out missionaries, and now he helped to start the Bible Society, which was as important as any mission board. Unless there were Bibles to take, and in the language of the people of the lands they were going to, how could messengers take them to those who had never heard the word? So the Bible Society was formed. The work of home missions used to be called domestic missions, and everyone knew that this must be carried on too, and Mr. Mills did much to help in the work at home. Then he helped to organize another foreign mission board called the United Foreign Missionary Society. Next came the African School, under the care of the Synod of New York and New Jersey, and Mr. Mills had his share in planning this work. The American Colonization Society, which planned to send out colonies to other lands, now chose Mr. Mills to go as their messenger to Africa, to choose a good place to start a colony of freed Africans. Mr. Mills had been a helper in getting the society started, and now at last he was to go to the foreign field himself, and in this way make a beginning in missionary work. Joyfully he set sail in a ship, but before he could carry out his mission he was taken ill with fever. He was not very strong, and the dread disease ran its course. The young missionary-to-be died on shipboard in strange waters on the 16th of June, 1818. He was only 35 years old, and had not been able to carry out the great wish of his life. But after all, he did much for the heathen world and the organization of the societies that carried on the work he loved and longed to share. Besides, this young missionary-to-be was so good, so earnest, loving, faithful, and enthusiastic that others caught his interest in missions. And even today, many years since his life service ended on that ship in far-off seas, people are better for knowing the life and hearing the story of Samuel J. Mills, remembered still for the work he started.